Honest J. Nowak. Oh yeah. A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to Honest J. Nowak. So, the title of this episode here is probably going to make it really clear that I might just point out a few things out there that, depending on where you live, you might consider it stereotypical and the like. So, they are things that I'm going to be very honest about at this point, because I'm going to be talking about world cultures. Basically, cultures that occur around the world. And when it comes to having certain types of cultures here in America just to know about at first, we might not feel, very comfortable about it because it is something that is very, very different. But eventually we do end up getting used to it. Especially with the kind of people that we've had in school with us. Especially those who are exchange students at some point in their lives. And I've had many of them throughout my time. So many exchange students, in fact, and it's just a wonder. How on earth are the cultures in some countries becoming so bad that the people who used to live there now have to live here in America just to have their own way of life? Of course, you did not really heed my warning then. Well, that's pretty much just too bad. So, what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to probably move on from that part there, just for the sake of all this, that I don't want to have on the back of my mind. But what I'm going to also talk about, besides the fact that, some cultures in some countries happen to be pretty bad, that many of the people who lived in those countries now end up living here, just to try to find a better life for themselves. And I tell them right away that they probably make the right choice. Coming here to America, anybody has equality on them, or they should have equality on them. Freedom, independence, and liberty, of course. Not to mention justice. Those are all things that we can very much take together and make it likely for anybody who comes from anywhere else around the world to have a more comfortable lifestyle that they would be able to get used to very quickly. Plus, we can always teach them the American language as well. A super easy language being taught to other people from around the world. That's another thing out there I would certainly like to teach anybody out there. But I really don't have the kind of skill to be a teacher though, so that's something I'm going to have to move on from. But again, world cultures, when you look at them more in depth though, it actually does look pretty nice in most ways. Because the types of cultures that we've gotten nowadays, they happen to be growing. So much so that, mainly because of the internet and other things out there, that we've gotten to know about these other cultures, mainly by just simply analyzing what they have to offer to anyone who goes to visit them. Any tourist who goes to any of these countries out there, they would know exactly what they'd be able to get into. And of course, when it comes to me wanting to study other worldwide cultures, then of course there is certainly going to be a time where I would very much want to be able to have something like that in my life. Even though it won't be for a while longer that I would be able to start traveling around the world, it would still be a very fun time to try to analyze what you could come up with just to see what is available for you to be able to do in any of these countries that you end up going to. Because, for example, when you go to somewhere like France, of course France is very much known for having such fine levels of cuisine, similar to Italy, but France just really seems to take a big interest in terms of desserts, like sorbet or eclair, anything of that sort. And of course, you cannot forget about the Eiffel Tower, though, in good old Paris. But anywhere else in France is also pretty nice, like Normandy, Nice, Cannes, and other places around France that you probably get to know about as well. But whenever it comes to other countries around here in the world, then of course it's just going to be another big thing out there that we could certainly take into effect. We can really take it all in and just explain to everybody what are the good things about these countries and what are the bad things about these countries. Now, most of the time whenever we look at these countries firsthand, we don't oftentimes see what's, beneath the mask that is supposed to be the good side of it. Because sometimes the bad side is being kept secret. usually by their governments. And it's mainly for the greater good, but I usually want to get to know exactly what they're probably all up to. So I feel like that for now, it's probably something we can probably leave it at that, but at this point, we'd probably at least consider the fact that now it's something out there that we might not be able to have put all together at once. But once again, no matter what kind of worldwide culture you seem to stumble upon whenever it comes to researching on the internet, or reading a book, or simply having a school project of some sort, it's really something out there that you can take in and just explain, all in detail, that it's really someplace worth visiting someday. No matter how long it is from now that which you'd be able to visit any of these countries, there is always going to be a time where you'd be able to and find out for yourself just how well they are. There's so many countries that I would in fact want to get to, but because of financial, things in mind, I can't really seem to figure out a time to be able to go to these countries. Because I've also planned that I wouldn't be able to do it for a little while longer. So it's certainly going to be a little while before any of that happens, though I will surely find a way to do that. But anyhow, I feel like that's just all I've got to talk about based on what worldwide cultures are about and how well they seem to do in terms of today's lifestyle. With the adaptation of the usage of the internet, it really helps us to learn about them even more in depth and with better citations that we can have that are more reliable, in fact. So, if you want to see more go down on my channel, make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.